Hi, I'm Kelly Bingaman, and I'm from Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. I've had multiple corruption things done against me, all because of a supposedly simple divorce. One of my situations is I had multiple situations in which my minor 15-year-old son would call me to be picked up while he was with my estranged husband. When I would arrive to pick him up, my husband would have the police there. There's also no PFA or other order preventing me from contacting him. When the police would arrive, they would tell me not to listen. They would not listen to my side of the story. The police would persistently threaten to arrest me when I had done nothing illegal. We have no such thing as restraining order in Pennsylvania. One day I was at the credit union paying my mortgage. My estranged husband showed up as I was down at the counter unexpectedly and followed me out of the bank. We were talking peacefully. I had my golden retriever dog out in my van. This was a dog trained as a rehab dog to assist me because I'm totally and physically disabled. I told him he could not have it. He tried to enter my van, and I tried to get away from him. He threw my cell phone, my glasses, and my keys. He pushed me around, continually trying to get into my van. He ended up calling the police, and I screamed in the background for an ambulance. 2 to 3 squad cars showed up. I told them my side of the story. The ambulance never showed, and I kept inquiring where my ambulance was. When I realized that they had canceled my ambulance, I advised the police that I would take myself to the hospital, but was told I had to sit and wait. No police talked to any available witnesses, nor did they go into the bank. I was placed under arrest for assault. I asked the police that my husband also be charged with assault, and I was falsely told that 2 people could not be charged with an assault. When we went into a divorce, at that time, I realized my civil rights were violated, and I found this attorney named Don Bailey, who did everything humanly possible to assist me. But of course, his case was thrown out. He couldn't have fought any harder for me, as if he was my best friend. Eventually, we went into a divorce master. Prior to the hearing, the master spent a couple minutes literally yelling at me, calling me names, telling me I'm a troublemaker, and I have no respect for the law. My case was before the Superior Court at this time, and there were absolutely no records for this hearing. The master told me that since I had wasted the court's time, we would have to take a lunch break. I gave my testimony, and then we broke for lunch. Upon my return from lunch, my lawyer was standing in the hallway. He had a strange look in his face. I walked up to him, and he advised me that the stenographer machine had malfunctioned, and there was no record of my testimony. They also forgot to plug in the backup tape recorder. I deliberately requested for a continuance, and it was denied, and the hearing proceeded on my husband's testimony only. The divorce was signed off on by a judge, and I was never notified. My testimony was not considered by the court. In my divorce, after almost a 25-year marriage, there was no distribution of assets. I am physically and totally disabled on a very limited income, and I was awarded nothing by the court. The judge in this case would not allow me to call witnesses. I filed petitions to modify my alimony and vacate the divorce because of this. The last time I did it was August 4th of 2011. I waited approximately 6 months. I called the prothonotari's office to see why I was not assigned to be heard yet. They said they had never seen this before, that it was not assigned to be heard, and they passed me through to the judge's secretary. When I advised her who I was and gave her my court case number, she advised me the judge was not going to hear my case. So this once again gave me no legal recourse. In my child custody matter, legally I had a 50-50 custody of my child with therapy ordered. Custody and therapy were not followed through by my husband. I would go months without seeing my son despite regular orders to allow visits. It took 4 years for this to get to court. By the time my son was 19, the judge threw the case out immediately, saying he was of legal age. I was provided no compensation for all the time I lost with my son. Due to my limited income, I had to hire a lesser attorney who wound up being suspended for taking money from clients. Again, I was never advised of this. While this was happening, my husband used a blind woman's stolen credit cards to pay for a higher-priced attorney, all his legal fees, and all his debts. The court actually later on ordered me to pay for my husband's legal fees. I reported the misconduct to the presidential judge to the disciplinary board, only to be advised that they cannot overturn any decisions made by the judge, and they feel in their opinion the judge did not do anything against what his duties called him to do. I literally filed perjury charges with the district attorney's office. I literally took one sheet of paper and outlined the perjury, and I took stapled the page of the transcript where the perjury occurred and highlighted it. After approximately 8 months passed, I called to check on the status of my case. They advised me they would look into it and get back to me. The very next day, I received a letter in the mail dismissing my case, indicating that I did not submit any kind of evidence or documentation, i.e. transcripts, in my case. If they received the actual perjury charges and I had them stapled, the transcript page to the perjury page, what happened to the transcript page? I had called at least 30 to 40 attorneys to review my case, only to get the same reply for each and every one of them. You have been done so wrong by the system, but they were unwilling to take my case due to the fear of repercussions. The one thing that remained open was alimony. This remained open for 4 years in the divorce because the master said he had no idea how alimony would affect me since I was on Social Security disability. I'm sorry, I had to wait for 3 years to be put before the same master yet again, only to be advised that Mr. Bingaman came in offering $200 a month, retro 1 year, and the master advised me he was not going to give me a hearing again. The lawyer representing me told me I had to accept it, which I did not wish to. Mr. Bingaman already hid his income. He did not report additional income he received having other jobs, and denied having any type of pension, retirement, or 401k plan, which we contributed to for over 18 years of our marriage. I reported this attorney to the disciplinary board for not putting my best interest first and insisting on a hearing, and told me to accept this offer as well as his misconduct up to and including taking other clients' phone calls while meeting with me. He refused these claims, and the disciplinary board refused to allow me to prove my case. I have a total of 5 months left until the statute of limitations expire on striking or vacating a divorce, and only by the grace of God, and now this finally coming to surface, do I have any hope of getting real justice done. I never gave up because I know that there are honest people out there doing the best that they can. Unfortunately, since my case continues to only go to the same two who have been biased against me, it is very hard to stay positive and believe in our system. Even when I went to the media, I was either told that they would not cover the story because it would take too much investigation, or this was affecting only one person, or they were also concerned regarding the repercussions. Due to the corruption of our entire legal system, being a totally disabled, middle-aged woman, unable to return to work, and having no retirement since my ex-husband denied having such a plan, my handicap accessible home is being foreclosed on in less than a month. I have no money and no place to live.